Did you know that stress and lack of sleep can have a greater impact on your health and wellness than what you eat, drink, or even how much movement you get? And as we approach midlife, these symptoms can not only be amplified by our unpredictable hormones, but they can even have a more harmful impact long term. Hi, I'm Beth Ann Dice, and I'm a health and wellness expert who works with women approaching middle age who are ready to feel healthy and in control again. I've spent the last decade developing programs designed to take women from feeling run down and run over to ravishing and radiant. In today's segment of Happy, Healthy Holiday Hormones, we're going to focus on the mindset M of my 4M system to wellness: meals, movement, mindset, and a little magic. If you watched yesterday, you know that we focused on meals. And I also said that I would announce a winner at the end of today's video. So be sure that you comment on your comment below for your chance to win today's prize. So yesterday's prize for commenting was a copy of 100 Best Foods for Menopause. And today's prize will be a copy of 100 Best Foods to Stay Young. So I will announce the winner from yesterday at the end of the video today. So let's move on with today's subject, mindset. Mindset is so important that I'm actually going to talk about this for 2 days this week instead of just one. And today we're going to focus on stress and sleep. So with the holiday season just around the corner, there's no doubt that we will all experience increases in stress and decreases in the amount of sleep that we try to get, no matter what we do, especially given the fact that we're probably about to have an unprecedented holiday season. And no matter what we do to try to alleviate those things, we're going to experience most likely higher levels. Am I right? But at what cost? So I've got a few notes here with me to keep me on track. And I also just want to check and make sure I don't have any comments. You can actually put any comments that you have, questions, anything like that, right in the chat, and I'll be able to see them while I'm live on the air. So let's first talk about stress. When you are stressed, you have hormonal increases, particularly in adrenaline and cortisol. Now, adrenaline, we're all pretty familiar with that feeling. We get an extra burst of energy. It can actually work for us. However, a burst in cortisol actually can cause us some issues. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about adrenaline too. So with the cortisol, the big concern here is it actually boosts the way your body uses glucose. So it actually pumps more sugar into your bloodstream. So if you have diabetes or a tendency or a hereditary tendency towards diabetes, prolonging that sugar boost can actually be very harmful. It can also do some other things to your body chemistry that help you gain weight instead of helping you lose weight. With adrenaline, we're all familiar with that kind of pumping, feeling of exhilaration and maybe even a little panicky heart pounding. So if you have issues with your circulatory system, heart disease, anything like that, or family history and predisposition for that, having that prolonged stress and that adrenaline pump is not so great either. And additionally, I just found this information this week, so I'm going to read it. A recent study showed that women in midlife who experience stress for prolonged periods actually have a higher chance for developing Alzheimer's and dementia later in their life. So that's something to keep in mind right there. Now, let's talk about sleep. A lack of sleep increases the hormone ghrelin, which actually increases your appetite. So studies show that a bad night's sleep, after a bad night's sleep, we tend to be hungrier. And that is why, because we've got that ghrelin increase in our body. The other thing that happens when we've had a bad night's sleep is we tend to make poor choices. So we're tired, we don't make the best choices. So we've got kind of the perfect storm here. We're hungry and we're tired, which means we are going to most likely choose the first thing that we see or not really think about how that donut that you're grabbing for breakfast instead of the yogurt with fruit is going to impact your wellness. The other thing that happens when you have a lack of sleep is it does make you more predisposed to having high blood pressure. So all of these things together are part of what helps you gain weight or causes you to gain weight, which I think we probably all heard varying statistics about what happens through the holiday season. Most Americans can gain anywhere, depending on what study you look at, anywhere from 10 to even 20 pounds, I saw in one study. So what can you do to try to alleviate some of those issues? So first, set aside time for self-care. This is so, so important. No matter what your wellness goals are, no matter what stage of your life you're in, setting aside time for self-care and relaxation is critical to your health. Next, be aware of situations that cause you stress. So if you are invited to a gathering and you feel that it's going to cause you stress, either because you have concerns about possibly the coronavirus or some of the people in attendance at that event just kind of cause you stress, maybe they have political differences with them, or it's just that friend or family member that just seems to press all of your buttons, you might want to consider not going to that event. Or instead of going for the full time, maybe pop in a little bit later if that's appropriate, or plan to leave a little earlier. Find ways to reduce your stress. Breathing exercises, meditation, even exercise or some form of movement, taking a walk, anything like that are great ways to reduce your stress. Safeguard your sleep as if your life depends on it, because it truly does. Making sure that you get adequate amounts of sleep consistently is a key thing here. And I know a lot of people, they'll get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night and then they'll sleep in on the weekend. That actually does not have much impact on your overall health. You may think that it does, but truly you can't catch up on lost sleep in a situation like that. Sure, if you have one night where you didn't get great sleep, if you go to bed a little earlier the next night, yes, that works. But sleeping 10, 12 hours on the weekend doesn't really help you make up for lost sleep during the week. The other thing that happens is it does throw off your circadian rhythm, which regulates your sleep. So you want to try to keep that regular bedtime and waking time as much as possible. Yes, even on the weekends. And be aware that you are just a little more vulnerable with everything when you haven't had enough sleep. So if you haven't had enough sleep and you're in somewhat of a stressful situation, your reaction to that situation may be a little bit higher. So you want to kind of keep that dialed in and do what you can to alleviate that. All right, so now it is time for me to announce yesterday's winner and to remind you to comment below the video, whether you're watching the replay or whether you're watching live, so that you have a chance to win this today's prize. So let me get a copy of the book and hold it up here. Here is today's book, and Rhonda Renee, this is going to you. And again, comment below, either in the replay or the live video, for your chance to win 100 Best Foods to Stay Young. And Rhonda, I will be reaching out to you later today so that you can claim your prize. I'm more than happy to ship it to you. And with that, let me just say, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for the third segment of Happy, Healthy Holiday Hormones, where we're going to focus again on mindset, but we're going to talk about setting yourself up for wellness success. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here. I'll pop a reminder out on my social channels. And in the meantime, make your mid-years your best years. See ya.